Jesus is a black man. No. Jesus is exactly who they say he is, a white man, spirit, or whatever entity. Jesus is Satan. We're worshiping Satan unknowingly. We've been worshiping Satan unknowingly. We've been tricked. We've been robbed of our history, of our destiny, of our identity. This is what's going on. And that is why there is a big spiritual awakening happening, because our God is here to deliver us out of the hands of their God, so that we may rise. And this is how it all started. Centuries ago, we started worshiping their God, our people, our ancestors. And God said, okay, since you want to work, God said there is no other God before him. And since you want to worship their God, I will leave you in the hands of their God. And then we were enslaved. And then generations and generations and generations. And so now God said, okay, so that was our punishment, right? God could have delivered us. We could have been had a spiritual awakening. But guess what? God's time is God's time. God moves on his time. When he feel like it's time. When he feel like we're ready. And now it is time. So you have to unlearn what you've learned and relearn the right way. And I know it's scary, and I know that it's all that we know. And so it's hard to unbelieve this. It's hard to unbelieve that Jesus is the Son of God and he's coming to save us. No. These stories and myths were created to disrupt our connection to the one true God, to disrupt our connection to the universe, to disrupt our connection to nature. Brown people, we are the chosen people. That's why our hair is different. That's why our skin is different. What we eat, we can't eat what they eat. We are organic people. So we shall not put anything dead inside our living bodies. That is why we are sick. That is why we are bipolar. That's why we have cancer. That's why we have diabetes. That's why we're struggling. That's why we're still at the bottom. And that is why they still have power over our lives. And as we continue to worship their God, they will continue to have authority over our lives. And about a week ago, I was out handling some business, and then I had stopped and I got ice cream, and this Indian man, he sat next to me. He just started talking to me, and we had a conversation, and somehow racism came up in the conversation. And he said to me, this was about a week ago. Now, mind you, I'm already on this. God had already revealed this to me about Jesus not being our God, and we're worshiping the wrong God. And so he said to me, he said, do you know, y'all black people, do you know y'all worshiping their God? Do y'all know y'all worshiping a white man's God? I had already knew that, but to me that was confirmation. And he smirked a little bit. He smirked, he giggled a little bit. He was like, they did this and did that to you guys, and now y'all worshiping their God. I already knew that, but that was just confirmation. So it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what we believe. Facts is that this is not who we are. Everything that we knew was stripped from us. Our God was stripped from us.